Hi, everyone. My name is Jenny, and I am the educator and outreach specialist here at the Missoula Art Museum. Welcome to the ARTreach Project Box video. And I'm here with Sage.
Hi, I'm Sage. I'm the AmeriCorps intern at MIT.
And we are going to give you a little tutorial on what's in your project box. So if you're watching this video, you came to MAM, you had your tour, you saw Robert Harrison's art in the art park called It Takes a Village. And so you left MAM with your project box. So you also left MAM with some drawings that you made. So you made some drawings in the art park and in the front of the building. So when you open up your project box back at camp, you're going to see that you're going to have some chenille stems. This is 10 for each person. So you can decide what colors you want. You can trade with your friends. And there's also 2 packs of Model Magic for each person. So you can use both packs to make your sculpture, or you can make 2 things, or you can use one as a test and one to take home, however you want to do it. So Sage and I are, oh, and then you also have this box. So the box is kind of part of the project too. So remember how Robert Harrison had the wire cages, the houses, and he had filled them with things that he had collected from around Missoula, from different people. So your project at your camp is going to be very similar to that. It's going to be site specific, it's going to be a sculpture, and it's going to be collaborative. So everyone's going to make something to go into the shared artwork. So you got also this worksheet, which I'm not going to hold up, but you got a worksheet in your project box that has some steps. And step 1 is identify the site where your site-specific artwork is going to go. So at your camp, you can look around, talk to your counselors, and decide what's the site that we're going to use. Not a website, but a site, meaning a place that you're going to put your artwork. So hopefully you could pick a place where the artwork could stay for a while, and then you can keep adding to it. So you can make the pieces that you make today with me and Sage, and then you could continue and make more pieces and add to it over time. So the first step is identify your site, figure out where it's going to be. And the second thing is you've got this box, and you can go ahead and use your box. Well, first you want to take out all the materials. So I'm just going to, we'll put them back. Dump out the materials. So you've got this box. So you could use this box to create some type of container. So I'm going to ask Sage for some ideas, like how could we transform this box?
You could poke holes in it.
Ooh, you could poke holes in it.
Or cut it.
With scissors, or you could cut it with scissors.
Rip it apart and deconstruct it.
Oh, you could deconstruct it, because check it out. There's little flaps inside. Most of these are shoe boxes, what we're giving you guys. There's little flaps inside, so you can undo those flaps and make the box flat. And then you could also use your scissors, poke holes, cut the box. You could do whatever you want with the box. If you have other boxes at your camp and you want to like combine this box with some other ones, you can do that too. So however you want to create your container, I would say, I mean, it's already a box, but creatively, you kind of don't want to leave it just like this. Like you'd want to change it in some way. If you have other materials around like tape, you might want to cut the box up and retape it into a new configuration. This is masking tape, that will work. Also, any kind of like duct tape or colored tape, you could use that also. So that's some thoughts about your container where you're going to put your pieces. You also could use your chenille stems in some way in combination with the container. So we've given you 10 of these per person, and the chenille stems, they could go with the box or they could go with your individual creations. And I'm sure you're all familiar with these. You can't really see them. These wonderful materials that you can cut, bend, twist, connect in any way that you want to, any way you can think of. Okay, so that's your site and your collaborative piece. Then we're going to go into the Model Magic. So this is what Sage and I wanted to demo for you, because this material is so cool. It's one of my favorite materials. So if you like clay, or you like sculpture or 3D work, but you don't like to get messy, which some of us don't, This stuff is so cool. It's like Play-Doh, it's like clay, but look what happens when you put it all over your hands. It doesn't even get on your hands, like not at all. It's so cool. So you can do all kinds of things with this. Like, what are some things we could do with our model magic?
Make a cup.
Oh, you can make a cup out of it, or a bowl or a plate or any kind of like little container that you want. You could twist it. You could rip it. You could take little pieces apart and put them back together. You can roll it. You could shape it into a person. You could shape it into an animal. So basically anything, it looks kind of like a marshmallow. Don't eat it. Definitely not toxic, but also definitely not like made to be eaten by humans. You know, so that you could make a dog, or you could make food. You can make anything you want.
It's a bird.
It's a bird. There it goes. You can make a donut. You can make anything. And once you are starting to work with this material, you also can go back to your chenille stems, and you can decide if you want to cut this into a bunch of pieces, little pieces, and put it into there. You can just mash it right in and wrap it around. The model magic will dry overnight. So as long as you're working with it, you're fine to keep changing it. So like Sage and I, we were working on this, and you know, we're like, okay, well, you could make this thing, you can make that thing, you can change your mind. Oh, look, I just made some kind of cool, like little dribbly thing. Give yourself time to experiment. So experimentation is really important in art. Like, we want to try as many things as we can to understand this material. So maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, you just want to be playing, right? And just see, you know, what is this? It doesn't really have a smell. What does it smell like? What can it do? And, you know, you might want to leave it for a little bit and then be like, oh, I'm going to change my mind. And you have 2 packs, so you can also add to it. So let's like make something as an experiment, okay? So we'll just make something, and we'll show you guys the next step, and then you'll be off and running. So I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a flower. And I got that idea because it accidentally looked like a flower. I was really just kind of rolling it, and then I was like, oh, that looks kind of like a birthday cake rose right there.
A snake.
Okay, so we've got a flower and a snake. Now, if say this is, I'm happy with this. This is like, I want it to stay like this. So overnight, this can dry. Before it dries, if there are little objects, found objects that I want to put in this, I can like embed them into the model magic, stick them right in there. Maybe I want to use a little piece of yarn, like whatever you guys, thank you, Sage. Good collaboration. Whatever you have in your space, in your camp materials or things you might want to bring from home, you can use whatever you have. And you also can put like a little bit of texture in here. Like say you wanted your flower to have some kind of bumpy parts like that. You can use the pencil to do that. And you can just go back and like shape it as much detail as you want.
Scissors.
Scissors, you can cut the model magic. Oh my goodness. Such a great idea. Okay, now I want to do that too. Because artists share ideas, right? So counselors, right now, if you want to take some photos of these, this is what we would call a work in progress or a WIP. So artists love to document their works in progress, right? So you might want to take pictures at different stages of the development of this piece. Okay, say this is what I like. I'm going to let this dry overnight. Tomorrow, when I come back, this is going to be hard. It's still going to be very light because all the moisture is going to evaporate out. I can now color this. So I don't want to color it while it's wet. That won't work. But once it's dry, I could use watercolor paints if you guys have that at camp, or you can even use markers to draw and color more designs on here. And then when you're finished and your object that you want to contribute to the collaborative site-specific work, go back to your site and your box, whatever you've done with this, and decide how you want to place your objects in there. So we'll just put ours in like this for now so you can see. And then you can decide as a group what you want your composition to look like. Maybe we want to actually put one on top, or that's totally up to you how you want to do that. So did I forget anything? I think we got it. So we can't wait to see what you create. And on your worksheet, there's a hashtag Missoula Art Museum. So if you put it on social media, if you send us a picture, my email's on there, let us know how you did. Great. Thanks, Sage, for helping me. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy.